So we go straight to the matter of the day, national parks. And our first guest today will be the CG himself. This is a man of action. And I rather leave you to make your impressions of him. Can we have the CG of National Park video spotlight on him so that we can go ahead? Sir, are you on board?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I am on board, Mr. Ikechi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikechi and your team, the Akwaba team. And I want to start by acknowledging our relationship, how it all started and where we are today, and the fact that you have been able to sustain this relationship for us. It has actually not been a small thing. For you to organize this webinar solely for the purposes of bringing into focus the National Park Service, I think it is a well commendable effort. And like you have said, this is not only moving domestic tourism forward, it is also a way of strengthening domestic tourism. I didn't know I would be able to make it to this place to attend this webinar. That is why I have arranged that the head of department in charge of ecotourism, Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo, will represent me in case I was not able to make it. Now, let me quickly give a highlight overview of our national parks in this country. And also, in the course of the overview, I'll be able to answer the question raised by the former Honorable Minister, Franklin Adejuwon, as to whether the status of the two national parks that benefited from the national grid are something to mention about. Then Kolo will run over the slide, but I'll just give a brief overview of our national parks. So our national parks experiment started in 1979 with Kanji Lake National Park. And thereafter, in 1991, 5 national parks were added. So with the addition of the national parks in 1991, then Nigeria had 6 national parks as at 1999. In 1999, 2 additional national parks were added, meaning that Nigeria has 8 national parks as at 1999. In 2004, Yankari was degazetted from the status of a national park to a game reserve. And since 2004, we have maintained 7 national parks. 7 national parks, covering a total land area of 22,000 square kilometers. So I will, at this junction, call on Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo to continue. I'm sorry that because Mr. Ikechi had said that from the comments or remarks I will make, people will be able to determine what type of man I am. So I hope with this little remark, I've been able to at least tell you the type of stuff that is in me. So please be attentive and listen to Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo. I hope Yakubu Kolo is on.
Yeah. So I didn't know what you said about the national park being on the grid.
Ask him to unmute, sir.
Unmute yourself.
It's not unmuted, the host is not allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. We needed to hear about the national park, about them being on grid.
Okay.
He's unmute again. I'm not the one there.
Unmute me. Okay. Concerning the two national parks that have benefited from the national grid, first and foremost, let me extend our appreciation to the former Honorable Minister. It has been a giant stride because today, not only the two national parks are benefiting from that national grid, all the communities along that route are, of course, benefiting from that national grid. That is one wonderful thing the former Honorable Minister has done for not only the National Park Service, but for the communities of Bauchi and Niger states. Today, Yankari has been, the Gazeta is now the property of the Bauchi state government. But even then, the national grid still runs. That has saved the country a lot of gas flaring, mitigating climate change, and of course providing clean air to visitors whenever they are there, because generators are no longer used in such places. Same thing applies in Kanji, though from time to time there are intermittent power outages, and such is always complemented with the use of generator, but at least to a significant level, the increase of ozone gas into the atmosphere is reduced by virtue of this national grid. So thank you very much. This is the status of the national park. Today, Kanji has remained our premier national park, and it is providing the needed services of ecotourism, ensuring that the animals and the plant resources are at least prospering, and it is waiting to be explored by visitors. And this is where your connection is needed to be able to at least ensure that domestic tourism actually strive well in these places. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. We'll be working together with you to make sure that these places succeed. I'm told that Kainji is ready to roll. And though what I saw on TV yesterday wasn't encouraging, the Niger road, Niger state governor was complaining, but we'll come there. We'll take care of the advantage. We'll take advantage of the relationship we have with you, bring tour operators to those your national parks, and get the business going. Thank you, sir. Before Kolo joins us, we are going to play a little video of the national park headquarters and show people that your office is actually also a park or a reserve. So if you're in Abuja and you can't go to the national parks, you can visit the national headquarters of the National Park Service. So why don't you join us? So Kolo can get ready to take over. Okay, Kolo can take over while we get the video ready to share with us. Okay, I think they have it now.
At the National Park, they preserve and protect the nation's natural heritage, which are wildlife, animals, and indigenous plant species, in order to memorialize them across generations. On my arrival, it was a warm reception, but I'm hoping the animals At the National Park, they preserve and protect the nation's natural heritage, which are wildlife, animals, and indigenous plant species, in order to memorialize them across generations. On my arrival, it was a warm reception, but I'm hoping the animals here will also be friendly to me. Well, we will soon find out. There are other national parks across Nigeria in 7 different states, which include the Kanji Lake, Gashaka Gumti, Old Oyo, Chad Basin, Cross River National Park, Kamuko located in Birnin Gwari, and Okomu located in Ovia, southwest local area of Edo State. The National Park headquarters has different sections. The mini park is stocked with wild animal species such as duiker, gazelle, kob, crocodile, porcupine, and ostrich. I love adventure, but I can't do this alone.
Hello.
So let's go in together.
Anybody here?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
You are welcome. This is the mini park in the National Park headquarters.
This is the biggest ostrich I have ever seen.
They are running. It's the biggest bird we have.
I was also made to understand that most of the animals went into hiding on sight in our cameras. On the contrary, I am supposed to be the one hiding.
So there are snakes here?
There are snakes here. They are part of the ecosystem.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
And you lead the way. You will lead the way.
Okay. So during a hot sun as you are now, most of the animals are there. But as we are going, if you look at some of the shady place, you may see some of the animals resting.
Okay.
Are you with me? But if you have come as early as in the morning, you see them grazing and browsing, or late evening. See there, it has gone very far. As a duiker, the ability of that animal to the environment to which you are bringing it.
Okay.
Secondly, the essence of the mini park is to showcase some of the sample of animals we have in the various national parks across the country. However, in bringing them, we know we have different species of animals. The one we brought it are friendly animals. Like the grey duiker, as you can see, is a small antelope. The standingo is a medium-sized antelope. So most of the animals we have are friendly animals. They are not harmful. One of the animals we have in the mini park is the dwarf crocodile. And we have different species of crocodile, and we have the Nile crocodile.
This is the porcupine's cage. I need to see what it looks like. What do you think?
Wait.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Ouch.
Out of the mini park, I headed for the animals' orphanage. Interestingly, animals too have an orphanage.
Take this one. You take this one. Take this one.
It has animals that are rescued from poachers and sometimes donated to the park by people who are nature-friendly.
We don't buy, we don't sell. All these animals were being confiscated from other parks for rehabilitation and for future purposes.
Okay.
So that the incoming children will know how the animals look like when they grow up. But if we don't confiscate them, they will all die, and we will not have wildlife here. We will not know how the monkey look like when we get to the future.
This tortoise is 162 years old, the oldest I have ever seen. History is always important and interesting when it's been told, which leads us to the Museum of Natural History. It exhibits a wide range of historical wildlife trophies and artifacts on various wildlife animals. The arboretum has mainly indigenous plant species that are being conserved for genetic resources.
My mic is on. Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Kechi, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity at the National Park Service. And most importantly, I want to thank the Conservator General for giving me this opportunity to represent and read his paper on his behalf, even though he has later joined us before the commencement of the program. And want to also to spot out that already during the introduction of the Conservator General, he has highlighted already the first two slides. So not to waste much time, I don't want to go into that. He has done the introduction of the National Park, the establishment of the national parks, and also the sizes of the National Park, the Conservator General has earlier mentioned all those ones. Therefore, I want to go straight to attraction based on the slide before you. The 7 national parks in the country have beautiful landscapes and diverse scenic ecosystems that provide unique opportunities for local and national tourists to experience active outdoor recreation, inspirational and tranquility. Apart from revenue generating to the Federation, the tourism direction of the Park Service also provides meaningful and realistic opportunities for the local communities to engage and benefit from ecotourism. Modest accommodation and recreational facilities exist in most of the national parks for visitors to engage in wilderness experience and game viewing, as well as sport fishing, boating, bird watching, etc. Accessibility to the national parks. Most of the national parks are accessible by road and air, except for Chad Basin National Park and Kamuku National Parks. All these parks are open to activities at the moment. Okay. And in terms of this accessibility, I also had Ikechi mentioning talking about Naija state roads. Abuja to Minna is a horrible nightmare for tourists and travelers along these routes. Bida to Minna is worst of all. At the moment, no roads leading to Bida as I'm talking to you now. I've been traveling to Niger State for the past 2 weeks. Every week I get to Minna, I can't get to Bida because of the trailer trucks that are, and the federal government is also trying to intervene immediately. The Excellency Governor had a meeting with His Excellency Muhammad Buhari yesterday, and we believe that immediately the government of the country will intervene to ensure that movement along these routes are possible, and thereby parks like Kainji National Park from Abuja and other routes along this road will be able to be accessible immediately. Tourist influx from 2017 to 2019. The data we prepared for this program was just for 3 years. We have 8,111 visitors in 2017, 10,371 in 2018, while in 2019, 11,487. These low figures might not be unconnected to some of these challenges we have mentioned that you are going to see ahead, like the issue of banditry, insecurity along our routes, and some of the national parks as well. You are all aware what is happening in Kamuku, Chad Basin National Park, where Boko Haram have taken over some of these areas. And then we are also, I was saying earlier, internally generated revenue between 2017 and 2019. You could see in 2017, we had 26,945,000. And in 2018, we had an increase to 60 million. But 2019, it dropped to 41,322,000. This also might not be unconnected to some of the challenges that we're going to mention ahead, like the issue of insecurity, bad road network, and these are really affecting patronage to some of these national parks. And I believe we will improve during the post-COVID era. We believe that National Park is working ahead to see, as we are going to see in some of the slides ahead, that we are working hard to see how we're going to come up with good and fantastic tourism activities for the national parks. Efforts in enhancing tourism in the parks. Under the security, we have joint operations and intelligence sharing with some sister agencies like military, civil defense, police, across the parks. We have this collaboration to ensure that there is enough intelligence as far as insecurity is concerned around the parks. Tourist facilities, accommodation, park viewing vehicles, catering services, sick bays are also available in some of these parks, and we are trying to improve on most of them at the across the parks. Media advocacy, all of you will believe that with me that our Conservator General is not scared of media. It's always online, both social media, television, radio. At any point in time, he's called upon to talk about national park is on point. So under this media advocacy, we have interpersonal and mass media marketing and promotion efforts, involvement of mass media for public enlightenment, partial commercialization. 3 national parks, namely Cross River, Gashaka, Gumti, and Kainji Lake National Parks, are pilot scheme with a transaction advisor appointed by to guide the process through the BPE. Then at the park headquarters in some of these, to add to some of the efforts we are making, at the park headquarters, we have added development of children playground at the park headquarters to boost children visitation to this park, to the park headquarters. It's part of it. We are also happy to announce to you Namore Bridge Travel are one of our partners in terms of improving the tourism activity at the park headquarters here. For the past 1 month, they have been camping, bringing in tourists that are interested in camping at the park headquarters, and a lot of activities goes along with that camping. Challenges: insecurity in most part of this country, poor park infrastructure, accessibility to and within the parks, lack of private sector involvement, poor domestic tourism by Nigerians, poor communication facilities in the park, low manpower development, lack of disposal income to embark on leisure travel, lack of political will to enhance conservation and foster ecotourism development as alternative source of government revenue. What are the way forwards? Some of the way forwards we are working on and developing are: the present effort to improve security should be enhanced in terms of insurgency and banditry downgrading and good road network development both inside and outside the parks. Government should make deliberate, concerted efforts to develop national parks, to bring ecotourism to stream as an additional source of government revenue, especially now that so many nations are gradually disengaging from the use of fossil fuel. The national parks are open for private sector participation, especially through the partial commercialization program of the federal government. Spirited individuals and organizations can also come to the aid of the National Park Service by donating projects and programs that will foster conservation and ecotourism in our national parks. And going forward on our slide, you will have seen some of the areas already developed at the park headquarters and some of the national parks. We have the gazebo at the park headquarters. You could see a fantastic place where visitors do come during weekends to relax and celebrate at events at the park headquarters. We have photographs of campers, holiday seekers on camp out at the park headquarters, which I mentioned recently. Namore Brisk Travel organized, which by next week also expecting another group through them to see those beautiful pictures. You can also see the mini park at the park headquarters. You see the ambassador of the United Nations there. I mean, United States of America being conducted through the park by the Conservator General. Some of the photographs also are chalets of Cross River National Park, the Tree House, the Bulatura Oasis, and then, last but not the least, the proposed hotel resort development at the park headquarters along Airport Road. You could see the design, the CG has put so much effort to ensure that this piece of land that we still have lying fallow at the headquarters has a very fantastic structure that comprises a hotel, event halls, and then meeting halls. You could see the design displayed there. And this at the moment where is awaiting partnership through this webinar meeting. I believe some of those partners, investors that are watching and participating will come around the national park to see how we can put our hands together to invest on these projects and see how we can move the national park forward. At this point, I wish to commend the effort of government, most especially Muhammad Buhari, for the efforts, and the Honorable Minister for what they are doing to ensure that national parks is put to limelight. We are aware that we are a paramilitary organization now, and the CG is seriously collaborating, and to see how the national park will also be part of the security architecture of this country through the Honorable Minister and the Council. I want to thank you very much for listening, and we await questions. Thank you, sir.
So you can get the slides he's presenting from ATQ News and from Naija7wonders.com. So everything that was presented today, you're going to get it either at ATQ News or Naija7wonders.com. So I thank you, sir, for being with us today. But I also want to make an appeal. Tour operators are not government agencies. They are private people who want to do business, who want to make money, who want to pay bills. They also want to grow the country. So when they want to bring tourists to your place, they need some kind of partnership with you. They need to make money to bring tourists. If people go to Dubai because they make money selling Dubai, people go to South Africa because they make money going to South Africa. So there needs to be a relationship of some kind with the national parks each one of you individually, so that these people can do tours. Eri Ijesha in Osun, Idere Hills in Oyo, which is like 60 kilometers less from your place. So people coming to Ibadan, people going to Eri Ijesha, people going to Kwara, they can do a detour to the park. That is the only national park they have in the Southwest. So we want this collaboration to continue from today. It doesn't end now. There has to be a continuous communication between the two parties, the private sector and the National Park Services, so that we can grow tourism in Nigeria together. If you sit in your place and you wait for the tour operators to come, they are not likely to come because people come to them. So, but they are doing this out of patriotic reason. I promise you on the behalf of tour operators that people will visit our national parks. If you are in Abuja, you have 2 or 3 national parks near you. If you are in Lagos, there's a national park near you. If you are in the Southeast, there's a national park near you. If you're in the Northwest, there's a national park near you. If you're in the Northeast, there's a national park near you. So you cannot deny. And now we are hunting for waterfalls. There are waterfalls everywhere in the national parks. So please make it a point of duty to visit one of our national parks. We have dragged on, but please, if you have a question, can you type it now so they can answer quickly and we can sign off. We have stayed 2 hours. So I need us to complete today. And if you have questions, type your questions under. And if you need access to the slides, info@naija7wonders.com. So they are going to write our website now, naija7wonders.com, and Akwaba and ATQ News. So please follow us so you can know what is going on in this country. If you need to get any information on travel and tourism, the biggest travel news website in Africa is www.atqnews.com. It's the biggest in the continent, the first and the biggest travel news website. And if you want any information on tourism in Nigeria, Naija 7 Wonders will have all the information that you need. So any other question? I say Yuba said we have answered this question. So okay, please, if you want to know about PPP, you could contact the National Park Services in Abuja on Airport Road. You could write to them and they will respond to you. My big friend Geminiwa Emmanuel is here, and good to see you, sir. I remember how we arranged the initial visit to Old Oyo National Park. So I like how the National Park has nurtured people over the time, and these guys know everything about tourism. We like to believe that people in government don't know tourism, but in the National Park, they really do, and you have seen evidence today. So if you have any other question, please write your questions so that we can quickly go. Or if there's somebody that has a question, okay, dossier about the challenges. Yeah, it's good we are bringing out all the challenges that's about this, and it's our job to present it to the government. You know, when government staff talk to government, they might not take them serious, but if we talk, you heard today that the IG has banned SARS doing checkpoints. It's because the public took it up, and end SARS, the IG responded. So if we don't take up these challenges the national parks are having and present it in public place, nobody is going to listen to them. It's our own interest that we present these things. I'm taking the questions, yeah, that we present these things to them. Okay, National Park is still working on the reenactment document of the old Oyo archaeological site. And I think that site is also good for the World Heritage Site. Oyo is the biggest of all the Yoruba empires, and the National Park, Oyo, Old Oyo, is where everything happens. So, Geminiwa, Prince, thank you for that. You're a prince and you're a doctor. And I know you're a lovely person. Thank you. And if there is any other question, please go again. Okay, the revenue profile of Old Oyo National Park. I think it should be in the slide. We are going to share all the slides with the media. And in the next 20 minutes, we are going to share all the slides with the media. Then we'll share on our platforms and it will be on the website. So while we feast on what they have shared with us today, I want to sign off by showing you clips of some of the things that happened over the weekend. And you join us in 14 days' time. We will come back again. Naija 7 Wonder Zoom will be twice a month. It will not be every week because next week, Friday, we are having Wonders of Africa Zoom. We'll visit Africa this Friday, then the other week we'll visit Nigeria. So this Friday, we are having the Wonders of Africa Zoom. We are going to Equatorial Guinea, we are going to Mozambique, and we are going to Angola. We are going to the Portuguese-speaking parts of Africa. Then in 2 weeks' time, we will visit all the tourism schools in Nigeria. If you own a tourism training institution, an aviation school, people send me messages and ask me, where can we go to get training if I want to be a tour operator or a travel agent or something? So if you run a travel school, if you run a tourism school, please get across to us because in 2 weeks' time, we are going to show a special spotlight on tourism training in Nigeria. So we have done national parks now. In 2 weeks' time, we are going to take on tourism training. We are going to showcase all the tourism schools. So people have been bombarding me with messages, inboxes, DMs. Please don't ask me alone now. Let us present to Nigerians the places you can get trained. So thank you for being part of us. Any more questions you can send to us forward to National Park. So till I see you again on Friday next week, 3 p.m. on Friday, we are going back to Friday. Why don't you sit back and have some fun on some of the things that had happened last week. World Tourism Day, Nigeria at 60. Thank you. No, there will be another Zoom link. We are going to share the Zoom link for next week. That is for Africa. And we are going to give you a link. So follow us on any of the social media. You can like Naija 7 Wonders in Instagram, 7 Wonders on Facebook. You can follow me, my pages, and we can share those links for next week and the subsequent weeks. It will be every Friday for the next 4 months, just like we did from 1st of June. Every Friday, we'll have a Zoom conference, 3 p.m. with our people. So please follow us so you can know. Thank you.
Crazy, man. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go, yeah.